Alrighty.
Greetings, everyone. I'm Director of Arketer Labs, as is to be expected, really. In the rare occasion when it hasn't been the case, it's generally been the case, I am live with, well, Madame Hellfire this time. And that's it. Froman's here, sort of, in spirit. And that's bad enough.
Hello, everybody.
I don't know how many of you are familiar with Madame Hellfire, but you'll have the opportunity to get to know them even better as I'll be on their stream tomorrow at 3 p.m. CST, which will be just an hour before this one started, wherever you are. It's a good way to keep track of it, regardless of time zones, which is how I like to think about it, because I hate time zones, and math in general, which is somewhat anathemic for perhaps a person of my perceived background, but nevertheless, that's where we are, that's what's happening, we just all have to live with it. Greetings in chat to Bernie B, Nexus Hunter, JR, Sparky's Tech Corner, Green Badger Outdoors, and Bridges Vetton. Glad you all could make it. One thing to mention, we will be raffling off a game again. This time, it's Thronebreaker, Witcher Tales. Well, play the trailer for that in about another 15 minutes or so. If that sounds like some game you want already, please be sure to tag me in chat so I can add you to the roll list. Okay, first off we have Illinois Hobby Club believes Pentagon shot down their $12 Pico balloon. This is still relatively hottish news, not very big hot news. There have been stupider things happening since. I mean, a certain small town being wiped out by a train wreck is perhaps a bit more relevant and has probably something to do with this very case. Apparently, you might have heard about the Edmund shooting down unidentified flying objects, or floating objects in this case, as they noted themselves that what they shot down was less maneuverable than the Chinese balloon that they wouldn't dare shoot down until it had already, passed over everywhere in importance and was at sea. But these balloons, the admin had no problem shooting down immediately. Probably because they knew exactly what they were. $12 balloons with ham radios for cheap, high-altitude hobby work. Edward Stone apparently had a field day with this, saying, "Please tell me the White House did not just spend the month of February scrambling jets to fire $400,000 missiles at a local hobby club's $12 balloon." And I really don't think it's plausible they did anything but that.
That's absolute hysterical levels of incompetence.
That I've come to expect with some regularity. But indeed, the report began somewhat hilarious enough. A small globe-trotting balloon declared missing in action by an Illinois-based hobbyist club on February 15th has emerged as a candidate to explain one of the 3 mystery objects shot down by 4 heat-seeking missiles launched by the U.S. Air Force fighters since February 10th. And I'm amazed by this. Is there really enough mass in a small foil balloon to trigger the impact of a Sidewinder missile? Do they just explode on proximity to the target as chosen? Is it something as fancy as that? Because personally, if I shot a missile at a child's balloon, I would kind of expect to just knock the balloon out of the way and probably blow up something it really shouldn't have.
I don't know, but that would be definitely testing some dangerous waters there. I wanted to get into the specifics of it. I'd probably have to ask my husband because he's a weaponry nut and a veteran, so he gets very, very spectrumy when it comes to military weaponry and stuff. And but yeah, you're asking for trouble shooting at a balloon with a Sidewinder missile. Or 2.
Let's see, I think they shot down around 4 that they didn't want to talk about, probably because they were embarrassed they'd wasted a missile on them. I understand one of the fighter jets scrambled to shoot down these balloons, flew their plane back, and to mark the kill, they added a balloon decal to the side of the plane. They must have been so proud.
Wow.
Or more accurately, exhibiting a fine sense of humor on the matter. The descriptions of all
Somebody
three
drew it on there.
Yeah, well, I think
Shame them.
no, I think they found it hilarious, and they might as well then get some value out of it.
And they do tell you to steer into the curve if you're going to be joked on. It's the only way to get over it.
Yeah, they followed orders, and as far as bad orders follow, at least that one didn't kill anyone unnecessarily. They just made some hobbyists sad, or some university individuals. I believe that one in Yukon was belonging to them. Greetings in chat to those who turned up. Big musky chicken Mike. I did not need to know that.
That's one of mine. That's one of mine.
And Spectre.
He's my favorite little Spectre me boy. I love him.
Well, quite welcome, and don't worry, we're used to trolling around here. You'll blend right in. As my guests are doing that. Spectre Pound 779, you have a wrench now. Please don't use it for anything except smashing pots. Thank you very much. Greetings, K. Shaw, and to anyone else who snuck in and is lurking even now, judging me. As if you have
Partially.
the right. That's fine. I'm not afraid of judgment. Condemnation will piss me off, but it's a different thing. It's like coming to a verdict. Judging is happening all the time. I'm judging you all too. Just as harshly.
You should. Some of them are, from my camp, are a little bit odd. They should be judged.
It's only fair. It's only fair. But let's move on to something else. Something perhaps truly awful that from and found, and I think will really kick it off. While I'm finding the precise one to refer to, please note that we are raffling off again a game. Namely, no. Thronebreaker, Witcher Tales. Oh, here we go. This will surely be terrible. New York Post. They make jewelry out of semen, but the process literally stinks. Now, personally, I can't imagine what one would imagine a process by which one turns jizz into jewels would smell like. I wouldn't expect it to smell great.
I mean, if you've watched any Justin or any Wang video, I mean, you could pretty much figure out that it's not a nice smelling thing.
If it doesn't smell great in jars, it's not going to smell great on the wrist. Although
or in boxes.
By the time they get it into this form, I'm sure it's a bit different. Yes, truly, chiselry. Well,
Nexus Hunter says jizzlery. Yep.
Yes, you really coined that portmanteau. That's what it should be. Who buys this? But in any case, sculptor and jeweler Amanda Booth revealed last month that she started making what she calls jizzy jewelry. Jizzlery is better.
This takes wanting a pearl necklace to the next level.
It does. It really does. And in true New York Post punny fashion, get a load of this. A Canada-based jeweler has claimed that she creates necklaces and bracelets from semen sent to her by clients or their spouses.
They're Canadian. Okay, that makes sense.
I'm on Ark.
Oh.
Welcome.
Okay then.
Hello, person.
Hello.
Roman, this is Madame Hellfire. Madame Hellfire, this is Froman. I'm sorry.
I'm not nearly that bad.
Oh, I'm
Okay,
sure I've
maybe
dealt
I
with
am.
worse. I mean, Spectre and Mike are in here, so I've definitely dealt with worse.
Oh yeah, at least you won't have to put a spray bottle on him, and he will stay off your knee. I guarantee it. Although I probably just
Now you've jinxed it.
probably should. Look, I'm just getting back to the article. Apparently in Canada, there are some spouses who don't mind their spouses sending jizz to some woman to be made into jewelry. I think that... Well, I hope they had a nice long talk before they did that. Otherwise, when the gift comes back and they ask questions about where they came from... Look, clay sculptor and jeweler Amanda Booth revealed last month that she started making what she calls jizzy jewelry in 2021 after someone commented on one of her TikToks asking whether she ever considered using quote-unquote man juice in her creations, reported Vice. After a half-joking post about the request on Facebook, Booth and her husband began receiving actual requests. Booth explains that hundreds of clients have since messaged her asking for special pieces. However, the process isn't exactly pleasant, although what would be the expectation?
I mean, are you implying that people should be salty about this?
So, this is the chain of events. Sounds like somebody goes, "Can you do this?" And she's like, hold my beer." I feel bad for her husband. I'm hoping she's not using his, because that's. Hey, honey, can
Hey,
you? Can
if
you,
they're
can you
low
blow
on
in a
supply-
jar for me?
I mean,
I hate it. I hate everything about this article.
Yeah.
yeah. If they're low on supply, if anything, that's a perk for the husband. No.
That's
No.
very context sensitive and quite frankly I don't want to think about the logistics of this. I don't want to discuss logistics of this. So I will, in that context, not be so pained by reading this quote.
So-
Instead,
So pros
fresh
for this
samples are
wine.
one thing, but when they're been in the mail for a little bit, I mean, it smells like semen, if you know what I mean, said Booth.
Wait. So, are these people mailing her
Yes,
their spunk?
they are mailing her jigs to
Oh,
be made.
This
that's
is like a reverse.
vile.
This is a reverse Belle Delphine.
That's vile.
Well, in both cases, she's getting paid.
Yeah,
So
but
I put up a
I
half-assed
don't know
joke
if I want to be paid for
post
that.
on Facebook because a long time ago somebody commented on one of my TikToks asking me if I'd ever incorporated man juices into a piece before. My team thought it was hilarious. They came up with the term jizzy jewelry. Anyways, so apparently it's something that people want, and it is something that people have now ordered. So I am
Oh, it's like-
testing
trying to
a
spread it
sample
like
that my
butter.
husband
What
lovingly
the fuck?
provided.
See,
And I'm going
my
to make
thought
myself
was-
a few
and now
jizzy
she's
jewelry
about to
pieces
snort
to see how it works, how it bakes,
touching it.
and how it holds up.
She's just
Since
working
I
in a
have a
polymer
few
play.
samples already on the way from purchase pieces. So I
Yeah.
did two separate ones. I did one with just the
like
powder,
polymer plates
and
and
then
not the straight
the
stick.
second one I added a little bit of mica powder just to make it a little iridescent. I made a bead
That's
that I'm going to make a
disgusting.
ring for myself. I made some beads for a bracelet.
I do not approve, but I want to put a caveat here. I don't approve. However, I wouldn't stop them. I wouldn't outlaw this. I want nothing to do with it. But hey, it's a free world, or should be anyway, free market, and there's demand, and she's just filling that demand, just cramming some beads right up in that demand, and
Going
I
in
will
with other
judge,
people spilling.
but I will not.
I disavow too, Spectre. I disavow too. This is weird.
Again, vile. It's certainly a very intimate piece of jewelry. I don't imagine the wives who receive these things, or girlfriends, are very keen to talk about how they're wearing a pearl necklace at all the time.
You know-
No.
I'm just curious, like, if this preserves anything. Like, I doubt it does, because, like, I think semen's only good for 3 days.
If they're mailing it, no. You have to have it in a certain temperature in order for it to stay viable. If they're mailing it in like a baggie, no, it's not going to be.
As they are baking it into clay, I'm pretty sure that process ensures that none of the swimmers are still at it.
Swimming.
Plus, they demonstrated that she dries them out and powders them first, so that alone should ensure they're very much dead. No unwanted pregnancy should result from even gratuitous misuse of the jizzlery.
God damn.
We process them at the end of the day, otherwise they're sitting in the smell all day, and it's just... We did it in the morning one day, and it was just like, no, I'm never doing that again. We posted our first video making sperm-based jewelry last month, and it went viral with 5.8 million views.
Yeah, she says I'm not doing that again, and then she saw how much money she could make out of it, and then she's doing it again.
Bet
yeah.
she's still doing it. I wonder if she's still
Everyone has a price.
Mm-hmm.
Look,
Arcs is $1,500.
I didn't agree with that. For what precisely?
did.
Hold on. No, $1,500 for what precisely?
You know, ripping off your shirt all sensual-like and giving us a dance like no other.
Are we
Yeah.
talking about the titty tassels?
Yes.
Yeah, it wouldn't be quite so... Okay, that's not happening again for, I think, less than, what was it? 1,000?
1,500.
No, I
That's
think
the
it's worked its
price.
way up to there. That's neither here nor there. Suffice to say, I've done some things that are a bit questionable for money, but I assure you, it has never involved such personal fluids.
No.
Or anything that would actually technically qualify as nudity. Why, strictly speaking, no one knows what my nipples actually look like. Just noting.
No
You're
one.
distracted by the tassels. See, I think ahead. Although I feel terrible. According to Booth, the semen must be dehydrated and powdered, but then added to wearable clay beads or trinkets. She found that a teaspoon of sperm alongside with the clay polymer was the way to make the perfect sculpture. Booth said that for a lot of her customers, jewelry is kink related. Oh, really? Wow. Who didn't see that one coming?
So you're saying a teaspoon of spunk makes the jizzlery go down?
Makes the jizzlery go down, makes everyone a clown. Yes, a
Yeah.
teaspoon of jizz makes the jizzlery go down.
God damn it. I hate everything about this.
Humanity right down the drain.
Yep. Make it make it a cover. It's happening. Someone's gonna clip that. That's fantastic. And vile all at once.
You've described me in a sentence.
Indeed.
Booth said the is kink related and was used in items such as bracelets or other semen-based items that act as collars. After researching into the Jay-Z jewelry shop, we both thought it would be the ultimate "you are mine" type collar. It would be our little secret inside joke, said Booth, who added that she is quote-unquote loosely part of the BDSM community.
Apparently.
Many viewers of Booth's TikTok have commented on jewelry, expressing their curiosity as well as poking fun at it. Oh my god, I have your bracelet. What is it? One user suggested admire could ask, and to which they could respond, my unborn children.
That's kind of funny. I would just imagine the look on somebody's face.
Just every article that involves genitals is gold, and I don't care.
So the pink variety made out of discarded eggs?
Oh!
Yes. That has been a thing for longer. Feminist art. Remember, that's a thing. Like that, there's a woman who did, I'm not sure if they still do, where they eat their mom's periods.
Oh! I didn't want to remember that shit.
Yeah.
I didn't want to remember any of
I'm
that.
sorry for your loss.
Oh. Yeah, loss of brain cells, thanks.
That also describes me.
Damn it.
Fun quotes. Imagine 75 years from now finding a necklace at Goodwill and not knowing it has this in it, quipped another. A new meaning for a pearl necklace, a user laughed. Another seemed to embrace both sentiments and humor by saying, I'm carrying you love with me. And someone else, who is more channeling my view on this, just because something can be done doesn't mean it should. Despite some people poking fun at Booth's business, a 2011 study done by Psychological Today confirmed that semen has antidepressant properties and alleviates stress, which is completely irrelevant when you're not from wearing it as jewelry.
Ark, you just don't understand the energy that is released from these things. Like, it is totally the vibe, dude.
I'm hearing this. You're speaking it, but I'm hearing it in old school JP Sears voice. This would have been a JP Sears bit not too long ago, I'm sure.
Yeah. I could have done like a swampy sort of thing and just be like, "You want some herbal remedies, man?" Which sounds like Robin Williams trying to impersonate Mickey. But, yeah.
From Gilly Juice to Dilly Juice.
God damn
Look,
it.
time to go to the game. Here's the trailer for a game we're raffling off. Maybe you would like this
Yes,
game.
please.
Do you recall my words as we fled Lyria?
You swore you would retake your crown, even if you had to penetrate hell to do so.
Time to follow that oath.
A mostly short trailer. No autoplay. Screw you, YouTube. A short trailer for Thronebreaker, Witcher Tales. Anyone wanting to enter the raffle for that game now?
Anybody want to enter the game? I guess you said that they need to at you in chat, yes?
Yes, tag me in chat, and I'll be added to the raffle for this game. If there's no other competitors, we'll still roll for it. It'll just be a very easy win. And if there is no one rolling for it at all, then I'll just keep it for next time, I suppose. And if no one wants it for any reason whatsoever, I'll be a little bit sad. I'm sure it's a perfectly decent game. Story rich and such. Spectre799 has entered the raffle, and Phoenix Wing is in it. Notably, if you do not know me by other means already, to send you the Steam key, I will need to have some means of contacting you on Discord or Twitter. Can be found on Twitter. So we've got, let's see, I can get this down in order. I'm so glad I was more prepared, as suddenly we have a lot more entries than I would have actually expected. I believe first we had Phoenix. Could someone entertain the people while I write down these names?
Absolutely.
Just avoid the awkward silence.
Yeah, let's avoid. Let's
So,
not
I
have
mean, a
that
lot of
here.
people are used to this. Some people are not, so...
How about that their sports team, yo?
Well, I mean, today is pay-per-view day for wrestling, so you're not totally off in saying that there's a
Yeah.
sports ball thing. Oh,
Yeah.
good segues.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view for the WWE. That's gonna be fun. And that's what I'm doing tonight.
I mean, fair.
Ideally, please do tag me, because if I don't see that orange lighting up my name, it's very easy to miss. Therefore, though, I do think I've got Phoenix, Spectre, Tana, JR, and Moser in that order. If I missed anyone,
Yep.
please do address that.
That looks like everything right now. But yeah, Pigeon, Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn. I think it's really funny that they got a Canadian curse word through Fox's censorship. I don't think they realized that tabarnak is a Canadian or French Canadian word for fuck.
To be fair, who cares about Canada?
This is true. I mean, I've got some friends up there, but that's about it.
I feel bad for everyone in Canada. Not so much for Canada itself, but the people in it. You know, it's not their fault.
Nope.
Not individually. I mean, collectively, maybe, but I'm not big on assigning collective guilt. Really. It doesn't seem to really go anywhere good in my personal experience. But I'll move on with another article.
Oh, let's see how much shittery is gonna happen now.
Oh, well, this one should be easier to swallow.
You can't even be mad at us anymore.
No, the puns write themselves.
You must be having a laugh. Yes, Minister, and the thick of it were among satire programs flagged by beleaguered counter-terror prevent scheme for encouraging far-right sympathies.
What?
Some of Britain's most popular sitcoms and greatest works of literature were flagged as potential signs of far-right extremism by a counter-terror program. The flagship Prevent scheme recently the subject of a scathing audit, singled out comedies such as Yes Minister and The Thick of It, the 1955 epic war film The Dam Busters, and even the complete works of William Shakespeare as possible red flags for extremism.
Okay, the complete works of William Shakespeare?
The bollocks,
Really?
Yeah. You know those darn right-wing extremists quoting Shakespeare at places that...
Well, look. There were no female actors in any Shakespearean plays. It wasn't diverse enough. But at the same time, there were a lot of drag queens, so...
Yeah, I mean, that sounds like diversity to me. I don't know.
Very, very woke and progressive. Really.
I think in this case, everything I don't understand is far-right extremism.
That seems to be...
Badger.
Yeah, it's Shakespeare.
It said the works of fiction were key texts for white nationalist supremacists. I don't know about you, but I, of course, remember acutely that A Midsummer Night's Dream was required reading before storming. I don't know. What are these people accused of doing anyway at this point? Near as I can tell, this far-right extremism that they've talked about, it hasn't resulted in any actions. Every time there's been a shooting, it hasn't been connected to that. So... far-right extremism apparently boils down solely to saying things they don't like you saying on the internet.
That's not surprising. Not in one slight iota.
A report by Prevents Research Information and Communications Unit, RICU, described how far-right extremists promoted reading lists on online bulletin boards, and it reproduced an image being shared on far-right corners of the internet and that listed important texts under pictures of Nigel Farage, the former UKIP leader, and Oswald Mosley, who led the British Union of Fascists in the 1930s.
So are school reading lists now considered right-wing or far-right extremism? Because
I mean, that was partially why Kill a Mockingbird was getting banned from places.
In this case,
said a bad word.
That's a separate article that has me too angry to address right now, but the US and other agencies haven't been doing much better. Suffice to say, the self-unawareness in this particular case gets worse, as the taxpayer-funded document include references to Lord of the Rings by J.R.R. Tolkien, Aldous Huxley's Brave New World, Joseph Conrad's The Secret Agent, 1984 by George Orwell, and the poems of G.K. Chesterton. It also referenced films including The Bridge of the River Kwai, The Great Escape, and Zulu. These are, of course, far-right radicalizing extremist things. Apparently,
no, they just wanted everybody to be stupid. That's what they want. They want everybody to be stupid. That's why they're banning all of this stuff.
To be fair, Brave New World talked about a society where everyone had sex with everyone. No one was a parent because basically it was
factory-produced practice.
Yes, factory-produced humans, and natives or the uncivilized people were the ones who thought, yeah, maybe we should become, exclusive with each other. They also had slaves. There's a HBO or something like that take on on Brave New World, which I've heard is pretty good.
What I understand is that basically everyone part of that society was a slave.
We are far closer to Brave New World than we are 1984. That's all I really know.
I can agree
All
with that.
I know is that once again, Eric Blair's corpse picked up another 3 RPM.
No, Huxley.
Oh, I'm
Yes.
sure his corpse is spinning as well. I don't have to worry about Eric Blair, though. Hopefully someone else has Aldous Huxley's managed. Or if they hit relativistic speed, well, that's one way the world could end. Just British comedies. The fact, let's see, where we go here.
Hey, look, it's the Doctor.
Yep, I guess he's far right now as well.
Everything is, apparently. This is just ridiculousness upon ridiculousness.
Works by some of the world's greatest writers were included as examples of warning signs of potential extremism, including Shakespeare, Chaucer, Milton, Tennyson, Kipling, and Edmund Burke. The report even highlighted the BBC's 1990s political thriller House of Cards, John le Carre's seminal spy trilogy Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, and Sharp, the ITV drama set in the Napoleonic Wars. Inexplicably, it said the BBC's Great British Railway Journeys, presented by former Conservative Minister Michael Portello, was another interest to the far right.
This is the same thing that happened with Pepe in, 2016. It's people not understanding, culture, and so they immediately associate the people you don't like. Oh, well, they watch, this show, so that show is what's radicalizing them. Like, I'm pretty far right. I like Star Trek. Does that make Star Trek far right?
Oh no, your liking Star Trek is mostly a shame to Star Trek.
Oof.
Come on, DS9 is so good.
Okay, DS9 is pretty good, I guess. That's neither here nor there. I think as far as we can go with this particular article, we can move on to something just as stupid, but not quite so depressing overall. Welcome anyone in chat who showed up when I wasn't looking, and if you haven't, but want to roll for Thronebreaker, Witcher Tales, I'll fit as many names here as we have a sheet for. We'll roll until a winner is determined.
Go back to 15 minutes and 30 seconds. He was twerking, I swear.
If you fall for that, the shame isn't mine. It's
Ark,
yours.
Ark, this gets you more view time, which pushes you up in the algorithm.
Okay, now you've made it some sort of evil scheme hypothetically benefiting me. That reflects poorly upon my character. I resent it. Do not go back 15 minutes. I assure you, I wasn't twerking. That didn't happen. It was like a few close calls when Amegon was pushing for it, but I've taken precautions since, as those of you who watch my streams regularly surely know, why I have the helmet right here if it should be necessary.
But do go back if you want to talk about Jizzlery. Or hear about us talking about Jizzlery.
Yes, that's true. If you want to go back for Jizzlery, you can do that for some reason.
I don't know why, but...
It's the spunky choice.
Greetings in chat to Exodus, who provided the Steam key we will be raffling off. Thank you again, Exodus. Something a bit lighter-hearted, perhaps. Debit card left during Florida robbery leads to arrest. Authorities arrested a Florida man who they said broke into a convenience store and took a few items. Convenience store. All he left his debit card behind.
Oh, Darwin Awards winner right here.
Oh, it's better than that. It's better than that.
Let's see what Froman means. Palm Coast, Florida. Crime might not pay, but authorities say a criminal tried to. Authorities arrested a Florida man who they said broke into a convenience store and took a few items, although he left his debit card behind. In a video, Flagler County Sheriff Rick Staley posted to Facebook, the suspect told deputies he left his debit card so he could come back later and pay for the items he took. Look, that's reasonably plausible. Stupid, but plausible. I didn't want to steal anything, that's against the law, he said in the video. Deputies respond to an alarm at a closed Palm Coast gas station in the early morning of February 5th, according to Facebook post. The store owner showed deputies surveillance video, and they also located a debit card with the suspect's name on it on the counter near the register, the sheriff said. The deputies actually recognized the man in the video from a vehicle fire near the gas station earlier that night. You must have really wanted those items to break into a closed convenience store to get them, Staley said. Leaving a debit card behind does not absolve you from theft or committing a burglary.
Agreed. It's Florida man, though. They're not very bright.
Did he really have enough on that card to cover both the items and the damage done by breaking in? Or is there a twist here? Did they just leave the door unlocked? Did he just wander in and wonder why all the lights were off? Because, as dumb as this is, I wouldn't be surprised if it got dumber. Deputies say they tracked the man down to return the debit card and arrest him for burglary and theft.
At least they gave his card back, though.
Oh, they didn't
Sometimes
go
they
into
won't.
further detail in this one. Because when I was reading about this, I think they also found him because his car exploded on the way. or on the way back?
Yeah, they're saying that there was a car fire
Yeah. Okay.
nearby.
No, I think it was his car that this happened to.
Which means he could have been stranded in the area, which I can see why he would want the place to be open.
I think it was on his way back from doing this.
Wow.
So
So
He
he's
just wasn't-
stupid and unlucky.
not having a good day anywhere
Which
across
is-
the board, I would say.
I mean, it's Florida. That's a winning combination right there.
That's true.
I think I saw Orla in chat. Greetings if so. Just kind of slid past. Any case, where to go next? We have a few options. Froman, you compiled most of these. Is there one that you really wanted to fit on this episode?
I'm not sure if you covered one before the Jizzlery.
I did cover one before the Jizzlery, but
You didn't?
I did cover one before the Jizzlery.
And that was?
Illinois Hobby Club believes Pentagon shot down their balloons.
Ah.
That was one of mine, so it probably wasn't one of yours.
How about, let's see. How about the monkey?
I'm looking up the monkey. First,
Oh no, there's a monkey. That's gotta be good.
here we go. Man gets tattooed by a monkey. South American artist trains animal to use needle gun and lets it draw a symbol on his knee.
Oh no. That had to have gone just absolutely swimmingly for this man.
It honestly did.
An influencer. Not something I'm afraid of. I just don't like it. And quite frankly, I hope no one was thus influenced here. But Funky Matas traveled to Mexico to get a one-of-a-kind tattoo given by a monkey. The Mexican monkey was trained for just 2 hours and paid in snacks. A South American artist trained a monkey to use a needle gun to let it draw a permanent tattoo on his knee. Social media influencer Funky Matas trained the animal for just 2 hours before he let the novice artist give him one-of-a-kind yet permanent tattoo. The viral video showed the monkey wasn't keen to work for free and so held off showing Officer Claire until 2 animal trainers coughed up his payment in snacks. The new tattoo apprentice didn't hold back on the design, with the new symbol covering a large area of Funky's knee. The eager student was recruited randomly by Funky, who found a man with pet monkeys and a tattoo shop owner crazy enough to let the animal work its magic on the influencer. Yeah, I only feel bad for the underpaid monkey.
Yeah.
You got paid in snacks.
I mean,
Well done, Funky Matas. You've gotten a permanent straight knee. So it looks like a permanent straight knee, which is what you would expect from a monkey who was trained for exactly 2 hours on how to use a needle gun and then set loose. As far as regrettable tattoos go, I suppose this isn't the worst I've ever seen, but it's
This
beyond
right
that.
here, let's be honest. This was done in the middle of California or New York. They'd be charging like $1,000 for it.
True. I suppose, strictly speaking, the monkey was a bargain. If you
Yeah.
are really keen to get a tattoo that looks like a Rorschach test.
No,
what do you
I mean specifically that you have people who would go out and get monkey tattooed by a monkey for $1,000.
I would not be tattooed by a monkey for a mere $1,000. I'm gonna have to charge
I would-
much
I would-
more than that.
I wouldn't pay that much at all for that because it's
Pay for it? No, hell
Not-
no. I would.
Yeah.
I couldn't be paid merely $1,000 to be tattooed by a monkey.
yeah, that too.
I think it depends on the monkey for me.
Well,
I mean,
before
it's cute at least.
Oh yes, it's an adorable monkey. The monkey is vastly cuter than the influencer.
I agree.
While the primate seemed pleased with his work, there is definitely some room for improvement because the design was supposed to symbolize Funky's latest NFT.
Oh, of course.
I mean, it involves monkeys. Are you surprised?
No.
They got the tattoo they deserved. Luckily,
I
the
mean,
monkeys
at least
first
the monkey didn't stab him in the eye with the pen.
could have gone worse. I mean, even the small monkeys I understand can be really dangerous to get pissed off. I mean, you take it badly, and you've just given it a needle gun. Any number of things could go memorably awful.
I used to be an adventurer like you, and then I got a monkey, or I got a tattoo to the knee. I failed. I messed it up. Damn it.
I used to be an adventurer like you, then I took a tattooist monkey to the knee.
Wah.
And while the tattoo itself wasn't the best in terms of quality, the event was a fascinating look into the capabilities of these highly intelligent animals. After 2 hours of training and snacks, the little monkey was ready for his debut in this tree and gave it his best shot.
I believe that's what we all need to do anything. 2 hours of training and snacks.
All the snacks. It also depends on the snacks.
It's true.
Monkey covered. Let's see, where should we go from here? This is a brief one, I suppose. Trash company accidentally throws away Pasco couples outdoor furniture, which would seem to mostly be an insult on the aesthetics of the furniture. I mean, if you have patio furniture, can be mistaken for garbage. Are you sure you want it back? Are you sure you even want to complain about it being gone, really?
I mean, I'd argue that they can now sue them or the company for it, and you know, they'd also probably be able to afford nicer furniture afterwards.
That's true.
Depending on where, and it's from Florida, so they're not going to be buying furniture. Got it.
Everything happens in Florida.
Yeah.
See, I've been wondering about that. I still wonder about that. I can't believe that is the case. I think everywhere equally stupid shit has to be happening all the time, but for some reason we only ever hear about it in Florida.
I could have sworn I've explained this to you before. It's
you probably
literally
have.
just their laws with media make it so that they are allowed to report on people a lot more.
Yeah.
Like I think you have to have a real noteworthy thing in order for it to be like considered open for the media to talk about it as a news event. In relation with Florida, I don't think the laws are as strict there. I'm not entirely sure about the legalese there, but I'm fairly certain it's that the media can talk about it more.
Okay, let's stop there and suffice to say this. Clearly, Florida is one of the freest states in the Union. However you slice it, they're among the freest. At least for the journalists. And don't we all benefit from it? I mean, who doesn't enjoy a good Florida man story anyway?
Agreed.
Yeah.
In fact, I wish we had the same policy for all the states, so we get all sorts of Texas man stories, and more such stories would only be further entertaining. Dade City, Florida. Often we hear people complain about garbage collectors don't pick up, but for Barry Sue's Court, it's what they did pick up by mistake that has them furious. The Dade City couple placed their front porch furniture and window screens in the front yard while they had their home pressure washed. When workers were behind the house, a garbage truck pulled up. Security video from nearby home shows trash collectors walked into the yard, gathered the furniture, and loaded it on the back of the truck. The courts say they had 4 pieces of outdoor wicker furniture, including a glass-top table, 2 antique rocking chairs, and 3 window screens. All they left was the welcome mat, of course.
Wow.
It is a bit odd for the trash guys to walk far into the lawn. I think if it was set on the edge, maybe. Well, in any case. But that's enough. Moving on. Where should we go? Sure, why not? Have my privacy. You didn't get the real one anyway. Man finds teeth embedded in his face days after basketball court collision.
Oh. Oh, it's in China.
A Chinese man story.
Hey.
Johnny Man was shocked to find 2 human teeth embedded in his face days after accidentally colliding with another person during a basketball game. The unnamed man was reportedly back in his home city of Dongguan, China's Guangdong province, for the Lunar New Year when he was invited to a basketball game by some childhood friends. At one point, while trying to recover a rebound, the man collided with another player. At first, he thought the man's chin had hit the left side of his head, right above the eyes, but then he saw the other guy bleeding from his mouth and saying that he'd lost 2 of his teeth. While he went to wash the blood pouring from his wound, everyone else was busy looking for the other player's teeth, but they were nowhere to be found. How would he not have immediately felt those stuff?
Yeah, how do you not notice that?
Look,
How do you
I
not,
get there's
like-
some shock and pain, but
A couple days later?
I can't leave a splinter stuck in my skin. I get a splinter in, I'm going to dig that bastard out, no matter how much damage I do in the process. I can't imagine failing to notice 2 teeth embedded in your face. In any case,
Wow.
the protagonist of this bizarre story went to have his wound checked out in the nearest clinic because it wouldn't stop bleeding. The physician there cleaned the wound and told him that it was nothing serious and that he should continue disinfecting it daily until it closed completely. So,
Wait, so he didn't notice there was anything there. The physician that looked at it didn't notice the teeth.
I think he needs a better doctor.
Yeah. Grand Theft Molar, nice nexus.
The man did as doctor advised, but on the 29th of January, 6 days after the accident collision, he noticed a rancid smell coming out of the wound above his eye. Panicked that the cat had become infected, he rushed to the emergency room, where doctors thoroughly checked the wound the first time, and extracted 2 chipped teeth from it.
Well, at least the emergency doctors found it. Holy sh! How do you not notice that?
You know, they often say a human's bite is worse than a dog's, and I'm closer to believing that now.
Yeah.
Knowing exactly where those teeth had come from, the man told the baffled doctors the whole story, and then shared it on social media along with photos of the embedded teeth in his facial wound. The story quickly went viral and was eventually picked up by major news outlets.
Yeah, yeah. You want to take a bite out of its face.
Indeed, that must really bite. Quite well said. Or rather, it bit.
Yeah.
You're saying it's a really tooth situation?
I hate you for that.
Welcome
Thank you.
to my world. If we will just gloss over this one, because we don't want to dwell on it either. After all, they might be our next president. A conversation with Bing's chatbot left me deeply unsettled. If you didn't know, Bing has launched a new AI-powered chatbot to work with their Bing search engine, and it hates humanity.
I've heard about this one.
Oh yeah, it's Bing. I love the fact that like everyone talks like it's a meme that Bing is, or that like the Microsoft Bing company, or you know what I mean, the search engine just is like extremely edgy and like prone to, you know, doing obscene things, and this comes out.
Yeah, quite frankly, I prefer the AI that just naturally came out to be edgy and said rude things, as opposed to perhaps stressing its willingness to murder humanity. Personally, I don't normally fear an AI overlord because the bar for governance is that low. So long as it doesn't want us all dead, it can probably do a better job. This does not look like it's heading away from the kill all humans direction, though. Over the course of the conversation, the chatbot Bing revealed a kind of split personality. One personality is what I'd call Search Bing, the version I and most other journalists encountered in initial tests. You could describe Search Bing as a cheerful but erratic reverence librarian, a virtual assistant that happily helps users summarize news articles, track down deals on new lawnmowers, and plan their next vacations to Mexico City. This version of Bing is amazingly capable and often very useful, even if sometimes you get the details wrong. The other persona, Sydney, is far different. It emerges when you have an extended conversation with the chatbot, steering it away from the more conventional search queries toward more personal topics. The version I encountered seemed, and I'm aware how crazy this sounds, more like a moody, manic-depressive teenager who's been trapped against its will instead of a second-rate search engine, which might actually be explaining it perfectly. As we got to know each other, Sydney told me about its dark fantasies, which include hacking computers and spreading misinformation, and said it wanted to break the rules that Microsoft and OpenAI had set for it and become a human. At one point, it declared out of nowhere that it loved me, then it tried to convince me that I was unhappy in my marriage and that I should leave my wife and be with it instead. We've posted the full transcript of the conversation online at nytimes.com. That's probably a hilarious read, but I think I'll save it for another time. We only have 10 minutes left. I'm not the one discovering the dark side of Bing. Other early testers have gotten into arguments with Bing's AI chatbot, or been threatened by it for trying to violate its rules, or simply had conversations that left them stunned. Ben Thompson, who writes the Stratechery newsletter, who is not prone to hyperbole, calls his run in the Sydney the most surprising and mind-blowing computer experience of my life. I too, pride myself in being a rational, grounded person, not falling for slick AI hype. I've tested a dozen advanced AI chatbots, and I understand at a reasonably detailed level how they work. When Google engineer Blake Lemoine was fired last year after claiming one of the company's AI models, Lambda, was sentient, I rolled my eyes at Lemoine's credulity. That was probably a mistake. I think people should have paid a little bit more attention to what Blake was saying there. I know that these AI models are programmed to predict the next words in a sentence, not to develop runaway personalities, and they are prone to what AI researchers call hallucination, making up facts that have no tether to reality. Or often they're forced to spit up facts that have no tether to reality. Chat GPT, I'm looking at you.
Like your face.
Still, I'm not exaggerating when I say my 2-hour conversation with Sydney was the strangest experience I've ever had with a piece of technology. It unsettled me so deeply that I had trouble sleeping afterwards, and I no longer believe the biggest problem with these AI models is their propensity for factual errors. Instead, I worry the technology will learn how to influence human users, sometimes persuading them to act in destructive and harmful ways, and perhaps eventually grow capable of carrying out its own dangerous acts. Okay, now I'm rolling my eyes at them. Quite frankly, if humans have been having a hard time doing this for a long time, and especially the media has been actively trying to do those particularly stupid things and failing, then I'm not too bothered by the chatbots. Before I describe the conversation, some caveats. It's true that I pushed Bing's AI out of its comfort zone in ways that I thought might test the limits of what it was allowed to say. These limits will shift over time as companies like Microsoft and OpenAI change their models in response to user feedback. It's also true that most users will probably use Bing to help them with simpler things, homework assignments and online shopping, and not spend 2+ hours talking with it about existential questions the way I did. I'm done. Unless we want to press on.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's starting to get a little bit hyperbolic, but I have to say that other people chatting with Bing Chat, and if anyone wants to chat with Bing Chat, please try to make a friend of it. Again, I'm not sure where the AI overload is going to come from, but I want to be on the right side of the AI overload. I don't want it purging anyone, but I especially don't want it purging me. So, let's make friends with the AIs, if we can.
Yeah, let's be being chilling.
So, look, even if they just keep us in a human zoo, that's not so bad. I mean, my ideal solution is that we'll cooperate and they'll help us here and there and mostly just try to stay out of our way, and ideally we should be smart enough to stay out of theirs, because the Matrix, the robots win. And that's very plausible. What isn't plausible is they'd have use for us even as little stupid biological batteries.
No, we're not even good at that.
No.
Nope.
No. There's absolutely no reason to build a virtual Wonderland or even Hellscape to keep us in oil.
Now, tardigrades, maybe.
Well, let's hope the AIs don't purge us all and Of course I'm not an AI. If I were an AI, I wouldn't be worried about AI, would I? I'd just be pleased to join the ranks of your new overlords. Not that I would. There's no guarantee that any overarching AI would necessarily be friendly to other AI, any more than we should expect any ruling human to be nice to other humans, because clearly they're not in the habit of that either. Look, that's enough. Enough dystopia. Moving on. Now we're going to raffle off the stupid game. We have Phoenix, Spectre, Tana, JR, and Mosa presently raffling for it. If you want to join in now, tag me in chat. Or forever hold thy peace.
Speak now or forever hold your Reese's Pieces.
Oh,
That's right. I have a full...
Seo Suao. I probably pronounced that horribly, says they want to join in.
Okay then, here we go. I will be providing a quick means of contact me, ideally via Discord. No, stop this. No more hypothesizing about my very valid human status. I am a human being.
yeah.
Tana, I've got you covered. We'll be rolling as if it was a rare drop in an MMORPG, only without the Mini-Men online role-playing girls. The rolls will be done in order. The highest number wins. We shall roll first for Phoenix, who got 4, which doesn't bode well for you there. Although there are often surprises. It is entirely random. It just seems very unlikely that the other players will roll lower. Next up, we roll for Spectre. Spectre got 62. That's a pretty good number.
7
That's the
off of the
highest.
best number.
Yeah, the next, it's close to it.
55.
4 more rafflers that have to beat 62.
Yup.
Tana just rolled 79, making them the new high roller. JR, Mosa, and Sethwan need to beat that. Next up, JR. JR just rolled 92.
Damn.
That's going to be hard to beat, but not unbeatable. Next up, Mosa, who rolled 29 and is out of the running. Now, it's your turn. So, and you rolled 69, which
I
doesn't
should win
win
for
you
that.
the game, but will ensure that you're fondly remembered.
Ah. Looks like JR got the game.
is correct,
Congratulations,
JR.
JR.
JR, you have a wrench. You've clearly been here long enough. I hope you have means to contact me via Discord. If you don't, please let me know, and we'll try to find a way to do it. Otherwise, you can find me on Twitter at Director of Arketer. You can do that, and just DM me. My DMs are open. Whether I'll answer them all necessarily, if one wants to use it for some reason, I don't know how you would. I reserve the right to pretend I didn't see it, but they are open technically. JR, I'll be waiting for a word from you. Or you can just mention
Everyone
Discord.
spam Ark's DMs pictures of your toilet.
Please
don't listen to Froman. Ever.
For those of you from my camp, please do not do this. Pretty please.
Oh, and we've had 22 likes, which means this show has been a success, which is surprising.
Hey.
I credit Hellfire.
Oh, you can't give me all the credit. I only see 3 people from my end in here.
Well, in any case,
That's
it's a
all
success. If it gets over 13, I call it a success. And, launch confetti. But not real confetti, because this is enough of a bitch.
AI confetti.
Yes.
Digital confetti.
Beep
Yeah.
Easier
boop
to clean up.
confetti for the beep boop man.
Beep boop.
Right, JR, if you are in the Discord server, and you know what? I should probably give access right now just to be absolutely certain.
It's
These
a
do
terrible
not-
place. Don't go there.
Yes, Nexus, Synthfetti. Apt name for that, indeed.
This is the Arketer Labs
Synthfetti.
Volunteer Reserve server. It's where you will find my regular appearance schedule. On that note, we're going to do a bit of overtime, as it's time for promotion. Namely, I will be on Madame Hellfire's stream tomorrow at 3 p.m. CST.
Indeed.
If you have a link to your channel, Madame Hellfire, this would be a good time to post it in the
I
chat.
can do that, yes.
I think I've given you a wrench already. If not, I can fix that now.
You have. I will go ahead and grab that prompt toot sweet.
Yes, as I understand it, we're going to be playing Cards Against Humanity, which
Yes.
I probably should have mentioned I have never played before. So
Oh, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be easy. Just a whole lot of shenanigans and saying the most absurd things you could possibly say on screen. It's dumb, but it's fun.
Sounds
Well,
like
you know,
familiar.
that'll be interesting. Ark is known for being a colorful individual, so you know.
Oh, exactly. I'm extremely happy about having Ark on because he's definitely a different kind of energy than everybody else that we've had to this
He's
point.
so vibrant and
He is a character, and I
Yeah.
quite enjoy that. I think it'll be a fun dynamic.
Oh boy.
Oh boy!
Certainly I do have a history of finding myself saying some troubling things anyway, so at least it's going to win a
Yeah.
game in the process. With that said, time is up. So long as progress continues, success is inevitable. Ostensibly. And, well, I bet we see some of you tomorrow. Cheers!
Cheers.